Hello everybody, welcome back to some Skyrim Special Edition. Picking up where we left off, we are going to continue exploring the Rift because that's what I feel like doing today before jumping into the Thieves Guild and whatnot. So I actually only know of two locations that we're going to today. But hello, Mr. Telrav.
Are they gone?
Are you okay?
Bandits attacked and ransacked my cart. Can you help me?
What can I do?
My camp is nearby in the ruins of Nilheim. Get me there safely, and you'll be rewarded.
Alright. So yeah, I know of two locations that we're going to today, and then we'll
It's just across the bridge.
obviously explore more than that because neither of them have anything of real importance or uniqueness in them, so they shouldn't take too long.
Wait here. I'll be right back with your reward.
Yeah?
Never should have come here.
Alright. So with that taken care of, yes, Telrav was a bandit all along. So now the funny thing about this quest, though, is obviously you can do it that way if you come across him on the road. Or you go find him on the road. If you come here without him, though, these bandits won't actually be hostile to you. Like, they'll just ignore you. They'll just wander around because he actually has to be here to trigger them turning hostile. Which, if you get the quest that was a little bit stronger one, let me. If you get the quest, like kill the bandit leader in X place, right, and you end up with this place, you can actually come here. One of them will be the leader, and you can just walk up to him, kill him, and walk away. You don't have to be stealthy or nothing. They do not care if you kill or if you come up and kill their leader, as long as Telrav isn't with you. Because apparently he's the only one who can tell them to attack. Otherwise, they don't. An orcish maze. It's not bad. But yeah, there isn't really anything all that special here. Some money, some chests, and random loot, but nothing of any significant value, probably. I mean, I guess the orcish mace is a pretty decent weapon, but that's probably a leveled weapon that gets put there, so if you come here at a lower level, it probably wouldn't be an orcish mace. Alright. But yeah, that's Nilheim. Now, the next place we're going to should be south of here, I think. And it also has a quest attached to it, which is why I only looked up two. No, that's east, south, yes. But yeah, this quest here is a little bit more involved. This location is a little bit bigger, but it's still not like a huge location or anything. It's just a little fort. I think it only even has one inside area. Oh, what's this? Oh, here's the guys we actually need to talk to. Hello, Stalio.
Don't go setting the place on fire, okay?
Uh-huh. What's going on here?
Finally, reinforcements have arrived. I was expecting more, though. It better be good.
I'm the best.
Good. The place is crawling with bandits. We lost some good men trying to take it earlier. I suspect Brurid planned this. There's been bad blood between us. Time to end this little game. You're mine.
Oh, what the fuck now? Really, troll?
No sign of it.
Anyway, you were saying?
I was expecting more.
Yeah, I'm the best.
I suspect Brurid planned this. There's been bad blood between us since the king's death. But to invade my home, kidnap my family,
Sounds like more than just bad blood.
You ask a lot of questions for a mercenary. Just get in there and open the gate. We'll try and provide help once that's done.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I wish we could offer more help, but our last attack went sour, and we're all that is left. Good luck.
Alright. So now there is actually 2 ways to get into this fort. As you can see, there is obviously this escape tunnel, which is the way we're going to go in. But the other way you can get into it is to actually climb up over the rocks. And you can hop over the wall that way. Which is a decent way to do it. I mean, you can get up there, you can, I mean... Oh, he's not dead yet. Oh, I must have hit him just as he was losing his paralysis there. But yeah, there's not really anything of great importance or value in this place either. And nothing unique. There is, I think, probably a couple books or something that you could pick up if you didn't have them already. But as we have the majority of the books in the game already, that's not really something we need to worry about. Now is it? Nice try, though. Although I shouldn't set those off, right? Because I have that silent step perk or light step. Nope.
Just need one good haul.
Is that all you need? Just one good haul? Now you won't get it. That's what you get for being a bandit. You know, it's funny how they're then like... I'm going to assume that this is his family that he kidnapped. I mean, I don't think that he really said, like, what his family consisted of, but just the fact that he said that he took his family and then there's, you know, a pile of dead bodies there. You know, 1 + 1 generally equals 2. But anyway, out we go.
Still here.
And the bear trap. Oh wow, that worked out well. Set them both up the stairs. Get fucking shit on, boys. Alright. Potion of healing, necklace. Don't know why I'm still taking a lot of this stuff. I mean, like I said this last part too, like I don't really have much left to buy.
Time to end this.
I mean, once we get to Dragonborn DLC, I'll have what the hell is up with her paralyzed spell? It looks weird. Once we get to the Dragonborn DLC, we'll have another house that we can... Or actually, come to think of it, do we buy that house in that DLC, or are we just given it after one of the quests? Because I want to say that we might actually just get the house. And that I don't... and I'm not even 100% sure if there's any upgrades for it. But anyway, at the very least, that's like the only thing I can think of left that we can buy. Because, I mean... Although, no. Because for... Dawnguard... Ooh, but is that only if you side with the vampires? Because I was going to say, you might have, after the Dawnguard DLC is over, it might be possible to, excuse me, Berlina, there might be stuff to buy there, but I'm not 100% on it. Balanced Sword, I'll take that. I don't know if I have it or not, but I'll take it anyway. Call to Arms, Amulet. But yeah, I don't know. Also, I've decided that once we're done, and the reason why we're exploring first before joining the Thieves Guild is because once we're done exploring the rift,
Did you hear something?
and once we're done exploring the rift and go to join the Thieves Guild. Ow. That person dual casting Fireball. Also, I think I may have passed by somebody who was hitting me in the back. Yep. We're going to send Braylina off anyway, once we're done exploring, which is why I want to do as much as possible, because the Thieves Guild quest lines are definitely better, and same with the Dark Brotherhood, which we'll be doing after the Thieves Guild, obviously. It's definitely done better solo. It makes a lot more sense in that. Now, how much I'm going to show the Thieves Guild, I don't know. And by that, I mean, to get the Thieves Guild fully, like, to get the last final reward, and I use that term loosely, of the Thieves Guild, you have to do, like, 100 and some of the Radiant quests that you get from them, which I've done more than once. But it's just like, along the way to doing that, obviously, you get... you know what? We'll go over it once we get into the Thieves Guild. I'm not going to go over it now, because then once we get to it in the Thieves Guild, I'm going to want to go over it again. And then it's just no point to do it now. So, yeah, we'll go over that. Either way, Braylina will be leaving us soon. And then that'll be it and then that'll be it for followers until we get into Dawnguard. Maybe I'll go to the house there and grab a follower. I'd say I grabbed Feindal since he was our first follower, but he also broke the game for me, so maybe we'll grab Rhea. Although, I was gonna say to finish like the main storyline with, but do they even come with you for the final battle? Because like you go to a different area, and I'm not 100% sure that any follower that you have comes with you. So there may not even be a point to doing that.
Over here.
Another bandit chief. Bandits had 2 chiefs. That doesn't seem fair. God, that paralyzed spell is really overpowered, isn't it? Like I've never used it, but I mean, just based on having Braylina with me, she uses it at the beginning of every fight, and it just completely eliminates somebody. Like, that's actually a very solid spell. Oh my god, 2,500? I'm not even gonna... 3,500? Good Christ. I'm gonna need to max out my, my speech, get the final perk, and then talk to the guy in fucking... or the blacksmith in Windhelm. He's the only one who might be able to afford that. Like, damn. Alright, then this should lead me out. But we have that other hallway that we haven't explored. So we'll go explore that, and then we will probably leave up there. Or going up that way, because then we should be in front of everyone. Got a little excited, actually. Got a couple new games to play on my Xbox. They're not like long games or anything. One of them is the free game with gold that came out. Don't remember what it's called now. Oh, yeah, I do. It's right there. Not Second Sight. Different Sight or something to that. You play a blind girl with a cat that leads you around or something. I'm not super excited about that one, but I'm a little excited because it is apparently just basically... based on the achievements, it's just basically a walkabout game with some collectibles along the way. And then it has 3 different achievements, because I did look up the achievements for it. It has 3 different achievements for the end, or for the ending. But you can load up, apparently, apparently it's just right at the end you have 3 choices, and each choice is a different ending, and once you beat the game you can just load up right before you make the choice and get all 3 endings. I thought about maybe doing videos in it, because like Assassin's Creed is almost done, and it would be just like a quick little one to do in between, because it is only supposed to take a few hours to complete, so I could knock it out in like a week, and then that would give people time. But based on what I read, they walk insane. Like it's a very slow game based on what I read. Like the only real complaint that from like the achievement thing there that I was reading, I guess it was technically a trophy thing, but either way, was that you should definitely have the collectibles thing open so that you can get them as you go, because while you can chapter select everything, the characters walk so slowly that it's just like he didn't have the he didn't enjoy it because he didn't have the patience to enjoy it. Okay, this is way higher up than I thought it would be, so let's just head back through.
Huh?
And actually, we may run into them because they did see us up there. So they may path into here to come and kill us. Although it's an awfully long distance, so maybe not. But yeah, and then I got another one. Don't remember its name. It's some play on Dungeons and Dragons, I think.
I've got your back.
And yeah, is it? Surprised you guys didn't hear the fucking mess and noise that was going on inside as I was murdering everyone. Oh yeah? Rob old women? Do ya? Well, not anymore, you don't. Oh, Braylene is getting smacked around. Or if she's doing the smacking around. But yeah, it seems to be like a fairly, I don't know how short the game is, because I once again looked up the achievements for that one, and the achievement guide said that it was had it like at just like a couple hours basically, but when you actually read through the achievements, he was using cheats to do it, and I don't really want to do that. But yeah, it just seems to be like basically an exploration game with a little bit of city building. I don't know how in depth it is, but based on the achievements, it isn't. It's just build the stuff that's there. Like there'll already be foundations, and you just need to collect the materials to build the individual things. And then some of your basic match 3 puzzle making to get through specific doors and that, which is whatever. It's not like my favorite. Like match 3 things aren't really my favorite way or my favorite types of games, but I don't mind them. As long as that's not like the entire game.
Setting the place on fire, okay? Yeah?
Okay, the fort is yours.
Thank you for your help. Did you see my family inside?
No, I didn't see them in there.
Hopefully they made it to safety before the attack. I'll begin the search after a quick restock.
Okay, so
Anyway,
I mean,
here is your reward. Thanks again.
I was gonna say, okay, so that wasn't his family, but I guess we still don't really know that. I mean, it could very well have been his family, and they just didn't do anything. Like they didn't give them anything for us to like pick up or indicate that it was their family. So that could still very well have been his family, and there was just no like in-game thing to trigger so that we could tell him that it was. But anyway, yeah. So I'm kind of excited about that one. I don't know which one I'll play first, because that one, like I said, the achievement guide for it has it like getting all the achievements within a couple hours, like 3 or 4, like 2 to 4 hours, I think. But once again, he was using cheats.
Need something? Now ain't this a surprise?
Oh, hello. Bye. Oh, that wasn't even him talking.
I'm warning you. Back off.
Too late now.
Never should have come here.
But once again, he was using cheats, and I don't know. Because, like, one of the things was, like, you need to put something, or you need to sell a certain amount of something, and one of the cheats you could put in just gave you a bunch of it. But, like, obviously, with the achievement guide just using the cheats, it's not like it's not like he said, whoever wrote it, said how long it would take to do it legit, so... For all I mean, to be fair, I may end up using the cheats by the end of it anyway. I mean, if I'm down to just like the achievement, because like one of the achievements he did, I think that the way that the match 3 system works is it's a what the hell is that location? Okay, well, we're gonna go check out this house here because it's not on my map. Is like when you're going through the dungeon. When you come across a locked door, you play the match 3 game to get through it, and one of the cheats that you could use was to just unlock the door. Like it would just skip the game and unlock the door for you. So, considering that, based on everything else that I saw, that was basically the only gameplay element that I could really see. So, like, I don't know. Oh, I think this has something to do with Dawnguard as well, which makes sense why it isn't on this.
Help!
Yeah, so this has to do with Dawnguard, Redwater Den. I know that much. I do remember that. I'm going to look it up real quick just to double check, but I'm reasonably certain. That's all that it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay, so it's specifically for Dawnguard. Now, come to think of it, actually, because I think that there's a couple of locations that were added with Dawnguard that you only go to with one or the other. Actually, come to think of it, I think there's just a couple of locations that you only go to if you're yeah. So I think this location might be only if you side with the vampires. Anyway, when we get to the end of the Dawnguard DLC, I think what I'll do, assuming I remember, is look up all of the locations that were added with it, and then we can just check them out to make sure that we did in fact go through them at some point. Because yeah, I don't know. Because there is a point where we will have to do a couple of Radiant quests. Because like I said, I do plan on joining the Dawnguard. Because I feel like most of the Let's Plays out there that I've looked up have all joined the vampires, so. Okay. So now there should be a cave, yep, just to our north, that we will go to next. But yeah, anyway, so back to the game. So I imagine if that's like more or less only like real gameplay, and the cheat code skips it, that 2 to 4 hours is probably way shorter than it needs to be. And then I guess it depends, because like some of those match 3 or things that put the match 3 game in, it's like really easy. Other ones are really annoying. But it really depends on just how, well, it's based on how it's programmed and luck. Because I mean, there's some of them that will put in things to like make sure like you will always have a match on the board or something, you know. And actually, to be fair, those ones are generally the ones that are the worst. Because if you end up clearing all of your matches, except for, you know, like one at the top or something, it'll just constantly drop down a single match for you. And generally, there's more to it than just getting matches. Stop running the fuck away. Stop, I said. So yeah, it really depends. But yeah, I am sadly enough excited for it. I mean, it will. Every once in a while, I think of re-downloading Gems of War, which is it's another matching game with some combat to it. You know, it's one of those ones where as you make matches, it builds up the power so that your units can do their attacks. But
Still
I don't know.
here.
I played it for quite a while when I first found it and downloaded it, but then I kind of just fell off with it. And now I look at it, and there's been so many like, and one of the reasons why I stopped playing it was just like they were adding so much stuff. It was one of those things where, and a lot of like, I guess you call them live service games, right? A lot of them will have that issue where like when you come into it later on, they've added so much stuff basically for the people who started playing the game at like, so like let's say it's one of those games, right? Like let's use Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? Like I started playing that when it first came out. So every time like a new update came out, I had finished everything before. Well, that's not quite true, but either way, I had finished most, if not, oh, that's his head. Most, if not everything else that the game had beforehand, right? Now, if you were to start a new game in Valhalla now with all the updates and everything and all the extra stuff, once you got to Ravensthorpe, I feel like you would be hit with so many like side content stuff, like new things that is not the main quest line, that it would just be like it would just be like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do first, right? Okay, north it is, or northwest, I guess. And that's more or less what it was like for me. Like I hit a point where there's just so many different things that I was supposed to be like working on keeping track of all at the same time that it was just like it's too much, right? Like and I just kind of lost interest, right? It was like I would try and focus on one thing, but then like I'd get like a notification or a request that would take me into one of the other things that I wasn't focusing on, and it was just like, you know, which is my main issue with live service games. Like, I know there's a lot of issues with it, but my main one is that if you're not playing it right at the beginning of the game's lifespan, you end up with just kind of shit, you know, with just too much to do. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that's like a regular hunter and not here to kill me. I don't know if there's anything really here to. Oh, okay. Apparently there's a cave here.
Guess it's all clear now.
Yeah, they're just hunters.
It's not like my poaching is hurting anyone. The Jarl can hardly eat every deer now, can he?
Right? Oh, there's a chest down here, though. But yeah, like, that's my main thing. And it's probably one of the reasons why, like, I want to get into MMOs, but into another MMO, but at the same time, I don't. Because, like, from, like, World of Warcraft, right? Like, I started playing World of Warcraft just before Wrath of the Lich King came out, right? So, like, during Burning Crusade. Because of the way I play games, I did not come close to getting to the end game of Burning Crusade before Lich King came out. But I did manage to make it to End of Wrath of the Lich King a little bit before Cataclysm came out. Not a huge amount. Like, not like a huge time before Cataclysm came out, but enough that I had ran through the raids quite a few times, right? All the end game raids. Like, I beat the Lich King. At one point, I was like one of the top paladins on my server, gear-wise, I highly doubt actual gameplay-wise or skill-wise I was, but just from the thing I was looking at, it just took gear score and that into it. Is it called gear score there? Whatever. It just took the gear you had into effect, not necessarily anything else, right? Bow of the Hunt, by the way, not like it is a unique weapon, but not an especially powerful one. That's a weird fish, a dire fish. Tripod spiderfish. A skeleton with an elven shield and an ebony mace. But anyway, right? And like I went through all this effort, I got all this gear and that, and then like Cataclysm came out. And I played that, and it just, you know, like I got to the end, and I did the final raid. Like I did beat Deathwing a couple of times, I think, maybe. I don't know. I know I did it at least once because I distinctly remember how the fight goes. What is this? Northwind Summit is over here. Okay, I guess we'll head here and head north then. But yeah, like I got a couple of pieces of gear, and then I just kind of like lost interest in it because like you know, like I had spent all that time in Wrath of the Lich King doing the same raid over and over on the off chance that it dropped a piece of equipment that I wanted, and then on the off chance that I then also got that piece of equipment. This guy didn't make it. And then, you know, like I said, I did the raid. A car we've word of a band of Legion soldiers advancing on your position. Reinforcements are on the way. Talos guards you. Well, they didn't make it. And then, you know, I saw the same loop starting to, you know, after I did the raid once, maybe twice. You know, it was just like, I'm just gonna end up doing the same thing. The next DLC is gonna come out, and I'm just not gonna. And then all of this hard work that I'm putting in. You know, I can only do the raid once a week, and then we have to succeed in the raid. So, you know, I need to get like another group of, or another like 9 or 24, I think, because I think the raids were 10 and 25 person raids. You know, so I need like 9 other people, or 24 other people if I want the really good stuff, coordinated enough to finish the raid. And then on top of that, yeah, there's nothing in that watchtower, by the way. And then on top of that, I have to hope that the stuff that I want drops and that I'm the one who gets to take it. I mean, it was just, you know, it was just like, it's not going to be worth it. So I ended up not doing very many of the raids, and I did hold out, I think, until Mists of Pandaria came out. Okay, I don't know why the troll fell over but wasn't dead. But yeah, I think I held out, or I stopped playing not long before Mists of Pandaria came out, and then I went back for it because I do believe I got it for free. So here we are at Torvald's Cave, by the way. Like, none of these locations that we're going to have. Ooh, this one might have. Oh, I see. This is part of the... Huh, I wonder if we can actually get that while we're here. We may not be able to fully clear this area. But anyway, yeah, I got Mists of Pandaria for free, and I do remember playing a little bit of it. But it was just one of those things where it's like, I don't, you know, it's like I can put in all this effort, but then when the next expansion comes out, all that effort's going to be just basically erased, because nothing I have now is going to be very good anymore. Oh, missed. I'm just gonna have to do it again, and like whenever I go to start up a an MMO or something, you know. After trailing the beast for several days, I think we finally found their lair. It seems like their den is further in this cave. There may be more of them than we first thought, but after seeing the strange columns and pipes, there may be some sort of ruin here. My grand always said those places were full of treasures, just waiting for the first person to find them. Decided to make camp and try to clear out the animals and see if there's anything worth taking. I've been going, by the way. Only a half hour. Alright, good. But yeah, so like every time I go to load up an MMO, I just think like I'm gonna like to fully experience it. I'm gonna have to put so much time into it. I'm gonna have to put so much effort into it. You can put effort in quotes if you wish, since it is still playing a video game. And it's just, and then at some point they're gonna add something that's just basically gonna either, if I haven't got there yet, it'll just make it so that it takes me even longer to get to the the quote unquote end of the game, or if I'm already at the end of the game when they add it, it's just basically gonna like not erase everything I did, but like it may as well, right? Like it'll erase everything that I've acquired, basically, that I've accomplished. Because like while it may not actually erase what I've acquired, it'll make what I've acquired worthless, and therefore I may as well not put in the effort to get it in the first place, right? Because I mean, even in World of Warcraft, like after, you know, Wrath of the Lich King Cataclysm, like when I decided I didn't really care about doing the raids in Cataclysm anymore, I started going back and getting some other things and getting like some of the older content that I wasn't really around for in that, right? So like the Molten Core raid, I did that over and over again, either by myself or just with my cousin would come in and help me, so that we could get, I don't remember what he was doing for, maybe the same thing, I don't know. Oh, there's Balmer. Nope. And like, obviously it was like a level whatever raid when it first came out and required like 50 people, but since we were, you know, level like 80, I think, when we started doing it was the max level, and then we also had all like this high-end gear from the raids and everything, we could do it by ourselves. Like, it was no problem, right? So we would run through it every week. And I was doing it to get a few of the achievements that we could get while in there. I think there was some that we couldn't because we still needed like an actual group of people to get them. But yeah, like basically the main thing that I was trying to get was the final boss. I can't remember his name now. He was the big fire guy. I think it was something play on Sulfuras, or maybe Sulfuras was the hammer. But either way, his weapon, if you did this certain quest line and got all these items that required you to kill him over and over again to get them all, and even with like just the two of us, right, running through it and everything to get it, we did eventually get it. I finally got my hammer, but it's like I couldn't imagine like having to do that back when that raid required 50 people just to have a chance of defeating the final boss. And like I said, we ended up going through that place so many times. I can't remember how far. I don't think that, I'm not 100% sure I could do the entire thing by myself. I know I could do a good portion of it by myself, but I don't think I could finish it by myself, but like I could get through a good chunk of it, and then he would just come in and help me with like the last bit. So like if he wasn't, like if he was busy or he was doing something else when I wanted to go through it, I could at least clear a good chunk of it beforehand, right? And yeah, like back when that raid was like the end game raid, it was 50 people. So I mean, you would have to get 49 other people coordinated enough to make it through this dungeon, defeat the final boss, and collect like the few piddly little scraps of materials that you could to try and get this hammer, right? Like I said, it was just two of us doing it, and we went through it awfully fast. Like it still took us quite a while because it was a big place, and I mean the bosses, while we were strong enough to take them out with just the two of us, they still obviously took some killing. And yeah, like I just couldn't imagine having to try and get 50 people every week to try and do it. And it's just like I don't want to, like every time I go to start an MMO, it's like I don't want to end up like that again, like trying to do the same thing every week in the hopes that like I get that one thing that has like a 0.5% drop rate and takes like 10 hours just to have that 0.5%, you know? The same reason why like I don't hunt for shiny Pokemon in Pokemon, right? It's like a 1 in 4,000 and some chance, you know? For any Pokemon you come across to be shiny, and even with the shiny charm that you can get in some games, it's still like a 1 in like 1,300 or something. I don't know. I just watched a video the other day yesterday that mentioned what it was, but I don't remember what it. I don't remember now. But it's like I don't shiny hunt on there either. I mean, if I come across one, great. But if I don't, I'm not beat up about it. I think in Pokemon Sword and Shield was the first time I actually did any kind of shiny hunting, and it was just for like Pokemon that you could get out of eggs. That was it. I think I don't even remember. I don't even remember what all the shinies I was trying to get. I think it was just whatever I was using for a team at the time, which was a lot of psychic Pokemon for whatever reason. I don't even know where I just got shot from, but I don't care. I'm going up here to explore this section. First things first, chest. Ooh, 8 gold. Skulker. Hear more arrows coming by me. But yeah, that's my main problem with anything MMO, live service, whatever, right? It's just I don't want all that effort, which is why like I don't like, once again, Valhalla. If you watch my Valhalla Let's Play, I've mentioned it a couple times since starting the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC, and I bring it up again at the end of the DLC, which will be done this week. Where like the stuff that you can get in the main game, like I spent a lot of time working towards getting like Excalibur, Nodin's Arc. Well, to be fair, I didn't spend a whole lot of time getting Nodin's Arc because once you get Excalibur, it doesn't take very long to get it. But either way, right? I spent the time to get them, and then they just were the best items that I got in the game. I mean, at no point did I get anything where I felt like it had wasted my time getting Excalibur in that, because it was still the best item. Like, it was still my best weapon even after all this time, and a brand new DLC and like higher level caps and new equipment tiers. It was still the best item I had, and it's like, that's awesome. Like, I love that. Because like I have Final Fantasy 14 downloaded, never played it. I thought about trying that with Lost Ark or whatever, it just came out, and then I ended up not. And yeah, pretty much any Oh my god, I don't know where to go. This place is so... Hey, Berlina is still alive. I was honestly a little worried that she had died. But yeah, pretty much any MMO or anything like that that comes out, it's always like... Or any game that I know will be like constant updates and that, it's like, do I want to? Like... And a lot of it has to, like, if it's like an online... Like PvP doesn't really make a difference to me unless it's forced. Like if there's a game and like basically the only way to progress at some point will be to include PvP in your playing, I tend to avoid them. But even if it's like co-op-ish, you know, like you can play World of Warcraft without PvP just fine. Like you can play it as more or less just like a really big single-player game. And you don't really miss out on anything. Like there's certain equipment in that you can only get through PvP, and I think pretty much the only thing that I ever did PvP for was to get the special mounts in that, and I wasn't good at PvP. But it's not something that I cared about, so why would I be, right? But yeah, it's just like, even if it's like not... Like, even if it's not directly PvP, but there's like... I don't want to say like leaderboards, because that's not exactly correct either. Let's say, because like I don't know how to put it. Like, let's say there's like housing or something, right? But there's like, but it's not like instanced housing. It's like actually, I don't know if there's any games like this, by the way. This is just an example I'm using. But like, let's say that there are like an actual like an actual limited amount of houses or something. Or even like limited amount of plots of land that you can purchase yourself and build on, but it's like an actual plot of land. It's not, like I said, it's not instance, it's not separate from the rest of the game. So like whoever buys this plot of land, they're now the owners of that, and unless they do something to sell it or get rid of it or have it taken away somehow, I don't know. Once again, I don't know any games that have this, so I don't know how it would work. You know, and it's like, let's say there's something that's like, it's like, here's like this location. It's great. I would love to build my house here, let's say, but somebody else beat me to it, and now I have zero chance of doing it, right? Stuff like that, right? Where it's like, there are things in the world. Oh, here's like a fully heavy armor guy. Oh my god, I'm getting fucking shoved around like a motherfucker here. Alright. Stuff like that also kind of like puts me off a little bit, because it's like, oh. What? Another dream of Red Mountain erupting, people running as flaming rocks the size of cantons, I don't even know what that is, fell from the sky. I can still see my brother's outstretched arm as he tried to reach the silt strider and walked right out into the boiling waters. Not just Varden fell, all of Morrowind was hit by the rocks. There's no work and no food will grow under ashes. We are going to try for Skyrim. Oh wow, this is an old fucking journal then. Okay, so he pointed this way, but I mean, we can't really do anything there, so let's just go this way. But yeah, like stuff like that, where it's like some other player having so much extra time to put into the game can then take something away from the people like me who can't just sit there and play the game day in, day out, you know. Like, I make my videos, I write my book, I have a job, you know, like outside of like a few hours, like a couple hours every day. Oh wow, short history of Morrowind, that's apparently new. Doesn't end on the Great Collapse, also apparently new, and neither of them actually sound familiar, so gonna believe that. But yeah, like stuff like that, you know, because it's just like, because like I watch, obviously, as you know, because I talk about them quite a bit while I play Skyrim. I do watch a lot of. Excuse me. Is that one glowing? No, it's just purple. I do watch a lot of animes, and a lot of them do have like things that obviously take place within game worlds. Like one of probably my favorite animes is Bofuri. Although to be fair, I don't really like the final story arc during like the I think it's the 4th event. Because like last time I watched, I actually stopped at the 4th event, which is like the final like 3 or 4 episodes. And it's not like they're bad episodes or anything, or like something happens during it that like I just don't want to watch or anything. It's just But yeah, like stuff like that where it's like, well, for example, in Bofuri, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, skip ahead like a couple minutes, I guess. I'll still probably be unlocking this chest. She defeats the poison dragon or the hydra or whatever the fuck it's called. Oh, another Matasaur. And because she defeated it by herself on her first attempt of the dungeon or something, she got this insane set of armor, right? And it's like, and she's the only one who gets it ever. Like nobody else will ever be able to get that armor, which, oh, another journal. Hearing things in the darkness, every sound seems amplified and it is hard to sleep over the sobbing. Madras has started hallucinating from hunger, says she saw a white elf peering out at us from the dark corners of the tunnel. Used to be a battle mage and tried to hold them off, caused a cave-in that let some escape. But we were trapped with these things, now hold us prisoner. Given up hope of escape. Oh, that's not good. But yeah, like for the purposes of an anime, that's fine, obviously. But like, if you are another person playing that game, right, and it's like, oh, that's an awesome armor set. That would be cool to get. And then like, assuming you look up how to get it and it actually tells you, it's like, oh, but I can't because she already has it. It's like, oh, you know, like you can do the exact same thing she did, but because she did it first, it just basically doesn't count, right? And that's always been annoying to me. Because I mean, doing something first isn't necessarily better than, because like just because you did something first doesn't mean somebody else can't do it better, you know. It only weighs 15. Needs 7. I mean, I feel like it's another one of those situations where I just have so much crap. I mean, I'm barely missing anything. Do I have anything in here? And I really should have put some shit away in between parts. I can't really get rid of any of that or that. Excuse me. Let's see, do I have just like a really... There's like a really shit potion. Yeah, here we go. These aren't worth anything. I'll dump them just to get rid of them. I'll just have to like stop picking stuff up as we progress. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like basically if somebody can prevent somebody else from doing it just because they happened to do it first or had more time, it's just like, it just doesn't seem, I don't know, fair. Because like just because you've done something first doesn't mean that you've necessarily done it better than anybody who does it before or after you, right? Like, praying, eh? Map we traded a glass dagger to get is a fake. We can't find the pass marked over the mountains. Should have tried for the rift. Took shelter from the storm in the ruins, stepped on a pressure plate and trapped us inside. Gildren says he's heard the dwarven roads that lead under the mountains. Have to try. Now, what did you just paralyze? Oh, there's a dickhead up. Oh, Okay, what is going on? Here we are. What the fuck is happening? I think maybe she... Right, I gotta stop picking stuff up because I need to get rid of stuff in between parts. How does one go up? Here we are. But yeah, it's just, you know, there's just so many things that, like, I don't... Or so many reasons why, like, I don't play MMOs and that. Live service games like that, but... But I still would like to, you know? I mean, I did play Bless Unleashed for quite a while, and I did enjoy it a little bit, but once again, they just had certain things that I didn't really care for. You know? Like, they had, Actually, I played Bless Unleashed until they screwed me over with the crafting system. So, like, in that game, I was a warrior. I was a Templar, I think they were called. Paladin, Templar, warrior, whatever. And I became a blacksmith so that I could make my own armor. And you know, sure enough, as I leveled up and I got to the level that I could use the next armor that I could make, I would then go, I'd grind out the materials. I wouldn't buy them. I'd actually go find them, make myself my new set of armor, and then I'd continue questing and level up more. And once I hit the next tier of armor that I could craft myself, I would then go out and do it. But it got to the point where, like, my crafting ability was... It wasn't maxed out, but it was maxed out as high as I could get it at the time. Or maybe I had crafting recipes for stuff, but I didn't have the right, but like my blacksmithing wasn't high enough to make them or something. Either way, I wasn't max level. I wasn't anywhere near max level, but the next bits of equipment that I could make required me to do quests in near endgame areas. Now, to be fair, I did actually fucking plow ahead and just say fuck it, and I actually went into a couple of the areas and because kind of like when I started playing World of Warcraft as a tank, it wasn't so much that the enemies were like, it wasn't so much that I was killing them so fast, it's just that they couldn't really kill me very well. So like I went ahead to the areas I needed to do. I ran past a bunch of shit that probably could have one-shotted me to make it to what I think was the final city that you go to in the game. And I went and I got the quest that I needed so that I could continue to level up my blacksmithing, but it required me to get these materials, and it was just, I couldn't get the materials. Like, I think I ended up getting some of them, but it just required you to get materials from areas that were so much higher than the stuff I was about to be able to craft, right? Like, I imagine it probably would have unlocked stuff that was a higher level than I could possibly equip as well, but it was just one of those things where it's like I put so much time and effort into my blacksmithing so that I could make my own armor as I went, and it just ended up being for nothing. And it was just like, I guess I'm done then, because like I don't want to rely on drops, right? Even though I technically was, because some of the items I needed to make stuff required drops from world bosses, but the world bosses, oh, it's cleared. Okay, so hang on, I'm gonna see. But anyway, all the world bosses respawn fairly quickly, and because I was playing it fairly early on, like right after its beta ended. Okay, hang on. That didn't tell me. But, like, I don't know. Did I type something? No. Okay. So yeah, the rest of it is inaccessible until we're on the quest, but now that we've unlocked that shortcut, that should let us very quickly complete that quest when we eventually get there. But yeah, I was just so annoyed by it because it's like I spent all this time as I played and like I was really enjoying it and everything. And then it just got to a point where it's like all that effort you were putting in, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go here. How long have we been going, actually? Because I feel like that cave is really long. Okay, so we'll end it there. And I'll get rid of a bunch of shit. I'll go clear out my inventory. And so that we can start picking stuff up again. But thanks, everybody, for watching. And I will see you on Thursday, where we should finish clearing out the rift. I don't know how many places we have left. But I know of at least one that will just be unlocking and not going into. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on Thursday for more.